Life is full of unique moments, like the first time you hold your newborn baby in your arms. You have many important decisions to make throughout their life, and one to make before they are even born: whether to store their umbilical cord blood and cord tissue. Future Health Biobank, helping you to protect your family's future health. To find out more, please contact us.
Future Health Biobank, proud sponsors of How To. Prepare for your baby's arrival.
Hello and welcome. Starting a family is one of the biggest lifestyle changes a person can make, and the joy a child can bring unrivaled. Being well prepared for the challenges ahead is paramount to enjoying every stage of your child's life. Throughout this series, we'll be speaking to experts who will be providing guidance and advice on just about everything new parents will need to prepare for their new arrival. We'll also be speaking to our guest midwife, who will be advising on the healthcare needs of pregnant mums and newborn babies. The health of your baby can be the most stressful aspects of being a new parent, and is the area in which parents often feel the least equipped. There's so much information out there, a lot of it conflicting, and it's difficult to know the right advice to follow. Trends in caring for your baby are forever changing, and medical research is constantly evolving. But these advancements are also exciting. We have more information and different options than generations before, and the impact is irrefutable. Infant mortality in the UK has dropped from around 20 deaths per thousand in the 60s to around only 5 deaths per thousand today. In this episode, we'll explore some of the latest developments. We have with us today Sue Mountford, a state-registered midwife. So Sue, can you please introduce yourself?
I've been a midwife for 21 years and work in a hospital in London, and I have wanted to become a midwife because I wanted to work with the mothers. My particular role in the hospital is I work with the high-risk team who look after the mothers who have medical problems such as kidney, heart problems, and also ladies who are taking drugs or alcohol, or who actually have depression. The role doesn't mean to say that because I'm a high-risk midwife I just do high-risk deliveries. Lots of my ladies have perfectly normal deliveries, and I also do the complementary therapy to do with induction of labour through massage and aromatherapy, which a lot of my ladies can also use. Describe a midwife's duties and responsibilities. A midwife is someone who helps the mother through her antenatal period, through her labour period and through her postnatal period, however long that period might be. Some ladies go on to have 9 months of pregnancy, other ladies have early babies. We're there for whatever gestation she is. We're there to give support, advice and guidance. So the term midwife, as you may well know, means with woman. So that's basically what we are. We're with the woman when she needs us, and she can access us throughout her pregnancy at any stage.
We're now joined by Roger Dainty of Future Health Biobank, a company who have a unique and cutting-edge approach to safeguarding your baby's future health.
Future Health is a private cord blood bank. As I said, we started in 1999, but that was really just building state-of-art laboratories, making sure we got the right scientists in place and making sure that our technologies were totally up to date. We then registered the company in 2002. We were the first private cord blood bank to get the MHRA regulatory authority for dealing with this. This is very, very important. In 2006, this was taken over by the Human Tissue Authority, the HTA, and again we were the first private cord blood bank to receive a full licence from the HTA. In 2009 we then obtained an ISO 9001, which really sort of qualified the company to have complete traceability, both paper and sample storage. Very, very important for cord blood storage.
Cord blood and tissue banking gives parents the opportunity to store their baby's cord blood and tissue cells. So there are very different types of stem cells in both the cord blood and tissue. Hemopoietic in the cord blood and mesenchymal in the cord tissue. So we believe the two used in conjunction together will give a child the best chance of combating an illness and obviously best chances of survival. The cord blood and the cord tissue is routinely discarded at birth, midwives and health professionals throw it away, and it's just kind of incinerated. It has so much potential and it holds so much value that it's a shame that this is just chucked away. We give parents the option of storing through a public bank, so donating it, and also parents have the option of storing with a private bank, so having exclusivity of that sample for their child and their family.
The process really is that when mum has had the baby and the cord has been clamped and cut, later the placenta will be delivered. Now the cord blood which has gone into the baby clearly is very useful for the development of the baby, but there will be a small volume of blood left in the cord and in the actual placenta itself. And what we do is send in a healthcare professional to extract the blood from the cord, and then we bring it back to our laboratories here in Nottingham on the Science and Technology Park, and then remove the stem cells, and then we store these stem cells up for a period of 25 years in case they're going to be used.
Future Health Biobank has nothing to do with the birth process. It's a completely simple, non-invasive procedure where the mother births her placenta. Placenta is handed over to a phlebotomist who does the collection, and it's a very quick, easy procedure which you will not have to see or worry about. I always say to parents it's a lovely thing to offer them if you're a mum-to-be or a dad-to-be, to have the opportunity to store your baby's stem cells for future use, and not even just your baby, it could be another sibling or a family member, to have the opportunity to use that should there be an illness.
The cord blood which is collected is actually a clinical waste product. Normally this is thrown away with the placenta, but it contains two different groups of very, very important stem cells. They're called hemopoietic stem cells and mesenchymal stem cells. Now these hemopoietic stem cells, which are very, very rich in the cord blood, have this wonderful ability to actually regenerate the immune system. So in other words, they can make red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, etc. Very, very important. And then the other group of stem cells, which is more commonly found in the cord tissue itself, are called mesenchymal stem cells. And these are the cells which regenerate the more solid tissues, such as liver, kidney, brain cells, skin cells, etc. So two very, very important groups of stem cells which normally would be thrown away as clinical waste. Stem cells are basically the building blocks of life. Stem cells are cells which are totally undifferentiated but have the ability to be able to renew themselves in a lifetime, but also go down different types of what we call lineages to be converted into different other cells that they populate. For example, the group of mesenchymal stem cells are capable of converting to liver cells, skin cells, neurological cells, etc. The hemopoietic stem cells in the cord blood, these have the ability to convert into red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, etc.
We hope your child never becomes sick, but if they do, you have something there that could potentially help. We never want to think about anyone becoming ill, but it's kind of, you know, it's better to have it there, never to use it, than to need it and not to have it there.
We recently met Shaunad Hilton, a lactation consultant from Medela UK, who tells us more.
Hi, my name is Siobhan Hilton. I'm a lactation consultant working with Medela. My role here is to support mums and health professionals with research-based innovations and up-to-date information. Medela is an internationally recognised company, started up about 50 years ago, and we started up in Switzerland, and it was a family-owned business started by Ollie Larson and has now got recognised international presence in the field of breastfeeding and breastfeeding products. You have to start about looking at your health, so you have a good diet during your pregnancy, so you actually sustain a good growing baby, fetus, and then that progresses then as the pregnancy advances. So breastfeeding starts from as early as 18 weeks gestation because the breasts start to actually change to make milk. It doesn't really do anything then until the baby's born. So what Medela tries to do is give mums realistic expectations of how to breastfeed, how to do it successfully. So Medela has invested a lot in research and understanding how breastfeeding works and what's so special about the milk. You know, what is it in the milk that gives the life-saving and the life-giving properties? And it doesn't just influence the baby's first year. It actually influences all the way through to adulthood. We have what we call a solution circle. So we start from providing mums with realistic advice on breast care, you know, how to get the baby onto the breast, some of the products to help keep nipples nice and healthy. You know, mum's own milk has its own antibacterial properties in there, but sometimes it just needs a little bit of help to help with any soreness and tenderness. We then move all the way through to giving clinical research-based technology in our pump technology and our pumping products, and then looking at how we store the milk and how we actually ensure that the properties of breast milk are best kept so the babies get the best nutritional composition from mum's own milk if they choose to express that milk. And to complete our solution circle, the baby then has its expressed breast milk in a feeding device called Karma.
So why is breastfeeding best?
Breastfeeding is important because it provides the baby with immunity through antibodies in the breast milk, and especially in the colostrum, which is for the first 3 days of the life of the baby. The mother produces colostrum rather than proper milk, and this colostrum has antibodies in which boosts the baby's immunity that is very low at birth. So it also, breastfeeding provides bonding with the mother and encourages the mother to nurture. When day 3 comes in, her milk supply will change from colostrum to a different type of milk, which is not as rich in the protein as colostrum is, and it will change throughout the feed. So the first part of the feed is thicker and richer, and then the last part of the feed becomes more watery, so it quenches the baby's thirst. So it's like having a starters, a main course and a pudding all in one.
We'll be back after the break to find out some more top tips. See you soon.
Life is full of unique moments, like the first time you hold your newborn baby in your arms. You have many important decisions to make throughout their life, and one to make before they're even born. Whether to store their umbilical cord blood and cord tissue. Future Health Biobank, helping you to protect your family's future health. To find out more, please contact us.
Medela is committed to supporting every mother during their unique breastfeeding journey. And as the world's leading authority on breastfeeding, we strive to provide the very best solutions to support mothers to breastfeed for as long as they choose. Our award-winning range of research-based breast pumps deliver mothers technological excellence that is the first choice of health professionals worldwide. Scientifically proven to be the most natural breast pump available. Best for mother and baby.
Life is full of unique moments, like the first time you hold your newborn baby in your arms. You have many important decisions to make throughout their life, and one to make before they are even born: whether to store their umbilical cord blood and cord tissue. Future Health Biobank, helping you to protect your family's future health. To find out more, please contact us.
Welcome back. We spoke to Sue to find out more.
A woman can prepare herself for childbirth by attending antenatal classes and by reading in magazines, by talking to her friends, by talking to her midwives. There are various types of antenatal classes that she can go to. She can either come to the hospital antenatal classes, or she can go to other forms of classes run by people such as the NCT. They all teach it exactly the same. They'll teach how to recognise the signs and symptoms of going into labour. They can teach or advise on pain relief and what the hospitals offer pain relief wise. They can advise on how to feed baby afterwards, how to feed successfully breastfeeding afterwards. And both the hospitals and the others offer breastfeeding support classes for the ladies who are postnatal.
Babies are instinctive. They know where to go. It's like a flight path. You know, they know that they have to crawl up onto the breast, and they will self-attach and they will start to nurture and suckle. We have what we call colostrum, which is our first milk, which is liquid gold. It's absolutely fantastic stuff. It's got the right probiotics, prebiotics, it's got a huge amount of antibodies, but it's only delivered in a very, very small amount. So you might only get a small marble of milk produced, but that's what your baby's stomach needs at that time. So babies will feed frequently, and it's quite normal to be feeding every couple of hours in the first few weeks until your milk supply is established. We're there to support a mum to enable her natural transition of feeding from the breast. Sometimes we have mums who deliver early, and we have pump innovations, so breast pumps. We have a hospital grade breast pump which has now got specific software, Preemie Plus software, which is unique for the preterm mum who is separated from her baby. We have retail breast pumps, which is from the handheld breast pump with two-phase technology in there, that we can actually support mums to actually have the benefits and the understanding of how babies feed naturally at the breast incorporated into a breast pump. In terms of two-phase, what I mean by that is when babies first go onto the breast, they do small rapid sucks, very fast. So they suck around about 120 sucks per minute on the breast. That's to trigger mum's oxytocin levels, so as mum has a milk ejection reflex, and milk is then transferred from the breast to the baby, and babies will then slow down to a slower and a deeper suck because it's drawn out by vacuum. This is put into the technology of the breast pump, so any two-phase breast pump has that two phases, stimulation and expression.
There's currently about 85 diseases which are knocked out by stem cells. Obviously the childhood leukemias and the immune system type diseases, and things such like thalassemia, sickle cell anemia. Very well documented evidence that these are very, very helpful in these diseases. This is one of our cryogenic storage facility rooms. These tanks here, they hold about 8,000 stem cell samples each, and they actually store at minus 196 degrees. They're stored in liquid nitrogen vapour, not liquid nitrogen, so the samples never come in contact with liquid, it's always in liquid nitrogen vapour. This helps in relation to contamination. They're very very secure, in as much as they have a 24 engineer call-out facility, and the tanks will actually survive without liquid nitrogen and without electricity up to 10 days, and they're fed from a big 4,000 litre tank which is automatically fed by the computers which sit on top of the individual tanks.
My background is midwifery, but this is cutting edge science, and to be part of it, to be part of something that could change and adapt the way science is practiced and the way midwifery is practiced, for me it's a privilege and an honour to be part of. So if I can say I've been part of something that has helped cure a child's life or a sibling's life or someone in that family's life, then you know, I will back it up all the way.
We have our own medical courier that collects the samples either from the hospitals in the UK or from the airports in Nottingham. They're then delivered to our laboratories. We have a 72-hour time limit. After 72 hours we would start to lose viability, so we like to, from the birth, we like to process and store within 72 hours. They come by our courier, they go straight into our checking laboratory where everything is barcoded, it's processed and then it's stored, usually within the first day of receiving the sample. What happens is, at the age of 18, the sample then legally belongs to the child. So we would write to the parents and say, you know, we need to now contact your child and ask for permission to store for the next 7 years, which you've paid for. And we would probably then say, oh, by the way, if you want to store for another 10 years, we can do it for you. That's, of course, if it's not been used. Because of our licence, we can only quote which is scientifically proven. At the moment, the papers coming out of the United States are quoting 24 years, complete viability after 24 years. So we cannot, in 30 years' time, we'll be quoting 30 years. We believe it's just like the IVF was, with storage of ovum and sperm, indefinite, but we can't prove this until the viability tests of stem cells have actually been done.
Have a healthy pregnancy, enjoy your pregnancy, do all the things right, exercise well, have a good diet, think about a birth plan. I encourage every woman to have a succinct birth plan from 37 weeks, just outlining everything they want from their process and everything, again, they don't want. So think about how you want to have your baby, think about the kind of drugs that you want to use, if any. Think about your third stage, which is the birthing of the placenta, which is the third and final stage of pregnancy, a very important part. If you're having a stem cell collection, this is something that you will need to think very carefully about in terms of managing the birth of your placenta. But otherwise, enjoy, embrace, and yeah, good luck with it.
Nowadays, we're trying to give mums realistic outcomes. So if we can start mums with those, we can tell her on day 3 that your breasts will become full and engorged. So what you need to do is make sure the baby goes on frequently, and we can help by doing that by supporting mums with the right skills so the baby, when the milk comes in, the baby can actually go to breast. Knowing at 3 weeks the baby's having a growth spurt, and again at 3 months.
The woman's life can change dramatically once the baby is delivered, and so can the partners. Their relationship will change totally because they're now 3 instead of 2, or maybe even more than 3 instead of 2. So she needs to be aware of where her support network is, whether it's her friends or whether it's her family, and also whether or not she can access groups out into the community. The GP surgeries run support groups, the early life units run support groups. So it's out there. If she needs support, she can access it. She's just got to be able to access it.
From work point of view, with the economic climate, we know that mums are having to go back to work a lot sooner, and a lot of mums will do their infant feeding choice based on that decision. So if we can get baby-friendly work environments and empathetic employers, because research shows that if a mum goes back to work breastfeeding, her baby's healthier, and it means that she's less likely to have time off from work to care for a sick baby. So in long-term outcomes, it's actually fantastic for employers to take on, breastfeeding mums back to work. Dads have a huge role to play in breastfeeding. It's not just about mum. Dads are there to help with supporting mum, giving her encouragement, saying that she's doing such a fantastic job. In terms of other challenges, addressing the pain. If it's painful, then something's not quite right. So we have to look at baby's attachment and positioning and look at skills and tools that can help mums over those tough few days, because there is a light at the end of the tunnel for a lot of mums. It's getting the right support out there.
So what can the birthing partner, family, friends and loved ones do to help during the labour?
The father or birthing partner or friends and family are very important, because they're there to support and to encourage the mother. They're an integral part of the process, and if they're not there, then it's actually harder for the mother to labour efficiently. It's also very important for both the parents to have me time and to realise that they're not just a parent, but they're actually a person. So it doesn't really matter how short that me time is, whether it's having a bath, being able to wash your hair, whether it's even having time to just paint your toenails. Not that fathers do that. Just to be a single person, to be a person rather than a mother or a father. But at the same time, they need time to be a couple as well as parents. So as well as me time, they have to have our time too.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. We'll be back at the same time next week with some more top tips. See you then.